Oh, it has been a while, my friends. Welcome back to The Letter. The Letter is one of my favorite games. I'm playing The Letter. That's exactly what I'm playing. Alright. So, last video, we had met Professor Andrew. I believe. It's actually been a while since the last video. As of recording this, it is December 12th. But for you guys, it's going to be like January 80th. No, it's going to be like January 13th. I don't know. Let me go look at the last letter video, though. When was the last letter video for you guys? 13 days ago. Yep, last letter video was at the start of December. Okay. So yeah, it's been a while, but hello guys. So let's get right into the letter. We're still playing as Rebecca. Yes. Load game file. Andrew gives my shoulder a light squeeze, the gesture a younger me has always appreciated, and quickly crosses the street after. I watch him until he disappears behind the door to a cafe until the doubts swimming inside my head finds a moment to rest. Whatever his business is with the rights isn't anything I should concern myself about. But somehow, in the grand scheme of things, now all of it feels oddly relevant. The how, though, I've yet to find out. And I'm hoping the library will give me the answers I want this time. On a gloomy Sunday morning, the library is especially empty. The second floor in particular. I've always considered this place to be a sanctuary, a respite away from the hubbub. I've never heard someone say hubbub. What is the hubbub? Hubbub of the city. From the hubbub of the city. You know what? I'm gonna crash out. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Alright. As a child, I grew up reading books here, spending hours here to no end poring over pages, living out fantasies in my head until my parents called me home. R.I.P. Rebecca. Chat, she's about to die in the library. A very scary, weird bitch lady's about to come out and kill her. Now it feels nothing like it. The silence is smothering. Suffocating. Even with how clean they've kept the microfiche? Are you calling the room fishy? I'm confused. Microfiche. Microfiche. I do not know how to pronounce that word. How the entire small of it lacks a speck of dust or clutter. Breathing is a struggle for air. Not far into my stay, I begin to long for the noise outside, and perhaps as a way to calm the unease, I start to hum a tune. Imagine that. Oh, it's the London Bridge is falling down. Why, of all things, it has to be that silly nursery rhyme. It's not an inkling. It does its job, however. It fills the lull with something far less awkward, far less deafening, and that is enough for a distraction. I wonder how Jester would feel. I wonder if he even watches most of the videos. He should start watching the letter videos. I wonder if he knows that since the beginning of 2025, going into 2026 now, I've been playing a game that takes place in his country. W. Jester, by the way. W. Jester. If he sees this video, I would like him to comment down below what some of the... I know what these words mean. But, what some of the comments I've had a hard time... Some of the words I've had a hard time with mean. Because, hello? I have business here. No time for silly daydreams, only important work to attend to. Even if there's a possibility of it being fruitless, by some means, it feels like I have to do it. If not for me, then for the people who have been affected by this... What do we even call this? A haunting? A Halloween prank gone wrong? A curse? I think it's a curse. If Isabella were here, what would she say? Will she panic? Will she be angry I only listen to her now? It all stems from that one moment in the movie house, doesn't it? We could have avoided this had we only taken her warnings to heart. One stupid mistake is all it took to send our normal lives on a downward spiral. Frankly, I'm no longer sure if I'm angry at myself for it or at the universe for throwing us into this mess. But we can only make do of what little we have, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Going here might not be the right decision, but it's a start.
A good start.
A good start? That's good, Rebecca. That's right. That's the way to think of it. It doesn't take much time for me to find what I need. A microfichy, a microfiche, of old newspapers. A micro... I will call you right back, Red. I need to go call Jester and see if he's awake. So stay in this call. I'll be right back. I gotta call Jester, guys, because I'm very, very confused right now. I have no idea. If he doesn't answer, he's gay, by the way. Hey, Jester.
Hello.
So, I'm recording a video on a game that I've been playing for a long time on the channel, but it takes place in your country. There's a word here that I'm gonna assume it's a British word because the game takes place in the UK, right?
Nice.
Specifically in a place called Luxbourne. I don't know if that's a real place, but in a place called Luxbourne. But I need you to tell me. Please tell me my camera isn't turned towards my head. It is my bald head. Okay, what does that word mean?
A microfiche.
A microfiche.
Hold on. Where have I seen that word?
It says a microfiche of old newspapers.
A microfiche of old newspapers. Hold on.
Does it mean like a small amount of something? Because the word micro is like tiny or small.
Right, hold on, let me just clarify. Microfiche.
So it is microfiche. Of course the British guy would actually know that.
Yes. It is microfiche. Let me Google the meaning for you.
Okay. See, this is why it's great to have British friends.
I spelled it wrong.
Okay. Turns out he's not really British.
Microfiche is a flat sheet of transparent film, typically 4 by 6 inches, containing miniaturized images of documents in a grid pattern, used for compact storage of records like the library catalogs, journals, or government files.
Okay, that makes sense, because she's looking through the private part of the library. Okay, thank you.
No worries.
I understand now. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Hopefully you're willing to maybe jump on the SMP later.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course I will.
Yep. Well, all right. I'm gonna get back to recording this beautiful video.
All right. Farewell.
Farewell. Always great to have a British guy on standby. It's always a good thing. Always a good thing to have a British guy on standby, guys. Okay, so yeah, we now know that the word is a microfiche, a microfiche, fiche. I already forgot what it is, but I know what it means now. Long kept in that it makes sense. The year is 1620s and beyond. Yo, we're going that we're going that far back to the Ermengarde Mansion, guys. The Ermengarde Mansion goes all the way back to the 1620s. Luxbourne journalists. Jump on it. Jump on it, guys. Get Briar Real Estate putting up the prices on this mansion. We need to claim it as a historic monument. We need an old British man somewhere. Get King Charles on this. Get King Charles on this. Make the Ermengarde mansion big. Big deal. Big deal. Big deal. Yeah, okay. Before the city of Luxbourne even exists in the records, when the mansion has just been built, Anselm is nothing more but a small, sleepy hamlet near a river. Hold on. So you're telling me the city of Luxbourne, the Ermengarde mansion and Anselm, but when it was just a small little, like, sleepy hamlet near a river, before Luxbourne even existed, the mansion is older than Luxbourne? Okay. A lot of pieces are missing, days, sometimes several consecutive weeks without any records remaining. Often it goes on for years. Troublesome. But as it is, I'm lucky enough to find anything at all, considering how far I'm looking back. Can't be picky now. Can't waste time mulling over what record keepers of the old could have done to make this a breeze for me.
I can still work with this.
The fate were of a microfiche machine keeps me company as I go over microfiche machine keeps me company as I go over each slide, each image, hoping for something that goes beyond what the local lore knows. There are snippets, little mentions of the family that once settled in the house here and there, the usual singing of praises for the couple who helped brought up what was once a tiny settlement into a buzzing town. Nothing substantial, nothing I didn't know before. It continues on like this for a good while, until I come by the years after their deaths. The people of Anselm might have loved Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde, mourning their passing, and held them in high esteem in the years after. But it was their daughter that was remembered fondly by the townspeople. If her parents built this town, Lady Charlotte was the one who made it prosper. Remarkable, considering it was a period of recovery from a bout of plague that killed half the town's population, including her parents. What's surprising, though, free at last. Higher hair puts a stop to local slave trade. Apparently, her time also marked more than superficial changes to the place. She moved things, changed laws, altered old customs and traditions. If they were done on a woman's whimsy, it doesn't say, but she seems capable enough for more than that. The gist of it is, the town she rebuilt. It's what eventually grew to become Luxbourne City, while the nearby Anselm village remained as it was, a relic of the old. A frown swiftly forms in my face.
So, why is there a need to hide this?
One by one, I try to recall every lesson I've gone through, every book, paper, and journal I've read. None of those ever mention this. It's always the lord and the lady of the house, their endearing child, always an afterthought to those anecdotes. The one who always took her life in the end. Never someone who restored a town from the brink of collapse and brought new ideas to it. Is it because she's a woman? No, because we remember Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde.
That pisses me off.
There's Lord and Lady Ermengarde. Granted, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Not all aspects of her can be considered admirable. But this is history. Some parts are bound to naturally delve into unpleasant territory, whether I like it or not. Luxbourne witch burns. Witch hunts, for example, became common near the end of her life, which would have been completely unremarkable and might have gone to become a mere footnote in history if it didn't involve Lady Charlotte and the very slave she saved. It caused quite a stir, enough to leave almost a week's worth of clippings. The girl was eventually burned, condemned by an entire town. At the word of Lady Charlotte alone, But this doesn't really have anything to do with this curse, does it? Unless the woman following us and this slave are the same person. Attila Refrenge? How cliche. However, with the lack of accurate photographs, it is impossible to tell. Maybe if I squint, the illustration would start resembling her. But in my field, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. I'll be the laughingstock of the community.
This isn't going anywhere.
I think it's either the slave or Lady Charlotte. Mentally exhausted, I take a careful step away from the screen, pressing a palm to my tired eyes. The lack of ample light in the area doesn't help. A headache already threatens to form at the back of my head, yet I'm nowhere near figuring things out. This is simply too much to take in all at once. I should have asked for someone's help. Rebecca. Nice way to cut in like that. Now I'm at a dead end. I start gathering everything around me and placing them back in their respective envelopes for storage. The motion's no longer new after volunteering here a number of times. I didn't make much mess anyway, considering the lack of materials available to begin with. I'll have to look somewhere else. The where remains unknown, though. But just as I'm about to slip the last of the slides in, something catches my attention. My hand pauses the microfiche halfway through its protective sleeve. This is one of the few I've set aside without taking a careful look at. It seems like a gossip column at first glance, but upon closer look, I slide it back to the reader, gently turning the dials in search of the page. It takes some time, but once the image becomes clear, Ermengarde here announces betrothal. They must have had this drawing commissioned for this announcement. I don't doubt it. The details are far more intricate, their likeness likely closer to how they might have appeared at the time. They're both recognizable this way, closer to those paintings I've seen in the mansion. However, it's the man standing beside her, Edward Godfrey, according to the article, that caught my attention previously. Her first cousin, and eventually her fiancé. What? Are you telling me? I mean, of course, this was normal for old London, old Britain, old British people. They loved marrying their first cousins and their second cousins and their cousins and their cousins of their cousins. But you know, what the hell? This is not the lore I wanted. I mean, no disrespect, by the way. Do what you want. Sleep with your first cousin if you want. Have babies. Who later became on to be Lady Charlotte. But what? Y'all were the most precious people in the city. And y'all were doing ancestry. I know this was normal back in the 1600s. But shut yourselves up. Never mind, I can't say that. That's wrong. But there's paintings. Paintings. I wish I would have known this sooner. I would have no longer supported the Ermengarde family. Why would you get with your first cousin? No wonder Lady Charlotte wanted to burn people. She was retarded. She was an incest baby. What do you expect? God damn. Maybe it's the posture, the manner in which he holds himself. You're just acting like this is normal? Is this just normal in the UK? Or maybe it's the shape of his eyes, though I can't be too certain about that until I've gotten a better reference. Nevertheless, there is a resemblance. He looks eerily like... My head snaps up, glowering at whoever's running in the floor above. Any day I'd march upstairs and reprimand whoever it is.
This is a library, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, it is a library. So are we going to go back and talk about the actual incest and the first cousin, or are we just going to leave that be? You're not just going to drop that there and expect people to react like, you know what, I'm just going to shut up. I'm going to leave it be. But now isn't the time. I've gotten what I need. Without wasting another minute, I hit the machine's print button for a copy of the page while my other hand moves to put everything back into storage. A ragged exhale slips from me. relief, perhaps, or maybe this is already exhaustion. Also, the man kind of looks like Luke Wright, doesn't he? The lady's first cousin that she got married to kind of looks like Luke Wright. I wonder if Hannah and Luke Wright are also first cousins, or maybe they're siblings. Who knows? I guess they could be. Who knows? Regardless, soon I'm closing my eyes as I wait for the printer to finish. If only to stave off a headache building up from everything. Sometimes I've even began humming the same song again for comfort. Despite my doubts about this, despite all the tension in my shoulders, this may be a small fine, but at least I can start somewhere. We can start somewhere. There's a way out of this. I know it. The printer sputters to a halt. However, its sound isn't what makes me snap my eyes open. A feeling. A chilly brush of air behind my back. Brief enough for something sickening to suddenly lodge itself in my throat. It's a suffocating sensation again, creeping to every part of me, crawling under my skin, draining me little by little of any strength. From that day in the mansion, from that brief moment at the school, dude, it's the creepy lady, it's the scary bitch. Run! Why am I freaking out so bad? I don't know. Just run. Rebecca, run! Please. Without delay, I grab the papers and make a quick beeline for the door. Oh, why is she on the ceiling? What the hell? Creepy bitch, get off the ceiling. Scary, ugly, get away. Are you an incest baby? You look like you might be. Holy hell. Look at her. Look at her. She's ugly as shit. Creepy. Oh, I hate you. Every time I see you, your creepy bones rattling. Get out of my face. Get off the ceiling.
What are you doing, Miss Pink?
My name isn't Miss Pink to you. I hold my breath, not daring to make any noise. For a little while, only the sound of papers crumbling under my grasp fills the room. The excitement from earlier gone instantly, replaced by a cold, seeping dread spreading throughout my limbs. But more than the fear is the anger. It pains me to hear her using my own student's voice against me, and more than once I believed it was really her. She has no right.
Why don't you play with me?
Why don't I play with a gun and put it to your head? What the hell? Get off the ceiling. Although she hasn't made a move, if there isn't a wall behind me, I'll probably take a step back. Anything to put a distance between us, no matter how small, as long as I'm out of her reach. But I steel myself, because if I do fall back, turn away from her, I'll be left with no way out. I am not dying here.
You think you scare me? Miss Pink, don't be so rude. I'm waiting.
No, you're not. Please stop. I don't want you to wait.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook. This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight. Come at me.
I expected she'll lunge, prove to me what a monster she is. Instead, all she gives me is a smile, twisted and gnarled. It's as if time has crawled to a stop at the sight of it. A split-second decision. Before I know it, my body shifts, eyes closing in anticipation, hand grabbing whatever's solid enough on the nearby table and hurling it at her. I don't bother looking if whatever I threw hit its mark. I run, as fast as my legs can carry me. Despite my heart threatening to burst out of my chest, but in this maze of bookshelves with the whole place almost void of people, is there even a safe place safe enough I can escape to? Should I head for the door or should I head upstairs? Should I head for the door or should I head upstairs? Guys, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna save. This is gonna be the first time that I've decided to save. Alright. I'm gonna head for the door. If there's one, it is out of this room, out of this place, as far away as anyone can get from her. I can think about the rest of what I can do after I'm outside when there are other people I can ask for help. When she's not chasing after me like this. There's no hesitation in my steps as I race for the restricted sections door, head downstairs and barrel straight for the library's exit. Towards safety in a desperate bid for my life, library rules be damned. I can no longer hear her behind me, but I'm not taking any chances. A breath almost escapes me as I near the door. A little more, when out of nowhere a library cart turns from a blind corner and slams to my sides. My back hits the floor with a hard thud, the impact completely knocking the breath out of me. The copper tang of blood gradually spreads over my tongue as I fight to get my bearings back. I force myself to move, even when the excruciating pain coursing through my limbs. The exit's almost there if only I can, but there's no moment's respite. The next thing I know, there's a heavy weight atop me, and cold digits slide around my neck, tight like a vice, present closing in, leaving me gasping for air, though through my blurred vision, I can only make out the hateful gleam, the spite in her eyes as she looms over my body and her grip on my throat grows tighter. Desperation kicks in. My nails dig into her wrists as I struggle against her firm grip, trying to pry her fingers away.
Let go! Let me go!
Hold on. Hold up. There we go. I don't think twice. My limbs are moving on their own before what I did could fully register in my brain and my lungs could recover. Behind me, she lets out a cry, sharp, loud, and thunderous against the empty walls of the library, but the fear her wails bring compares nothing to the relief washing over me when I finally make it out. My knees buckle as soon as my feet hits the pavement. My knees buckle as soon as my feet hits the pavement. Its surface cold and hard against my skin. I've only been in there for a few hours, about 1 or 2 probably. I don't know anymore. It feels like an eternity all the same. My breath hasn't slowed down, and I don't expect it to after going through that. I probably look the most undignified creature on a Sunday morning right now, out of breath and disheveled, slumped here with a bloodied lip and all. But at present, I simply can't bring myself to care, even when a few passers-by start giving me strange looks. Stare at me all you want, I don't give a single shit. I'm alive. I'm safe. This isn't the end yet, but I'm safe. And inside my bag is something that could get us out of this mess. Nothing definite yet. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it's still something. If Isabella is here, I'm sure she'll feel the same. She'll even be the first one who'll put her faith on it. Wherever this will lead us is a victory on its own. Now all that's left is to find the others, the rest of us trapped in this bloody nightmare. Right on cue, as if an answer to my previous thought, my mobile phone lets out a beep. I pick it up, simply hoping it'll be one of them. Only it's a voicemail that greets me. From Ashton. There's a pang of disappointment, of course, but it brings some reassurance that nothing's happened to at least one of them.
Hey, Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
He ends it right there, the message less than a minute long, curt, and gives nothing away. I let it ease my worries, regardless, and do as he asks. Because this, too, is another triumph for us. One less thing to worry about. Ashton! We're on to Ashton's story now. Parties have never really been my thing, and that's where we're going to end today's video off, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. We learned a lot today. We learned about incest babies. We figured out we got a new document, a new journal, so we know now that, we now have an idea of, what might be causing this. I'm going to go, though. I'll see you all next time. Hope you all liked today's video. Bye-bye.